Welcome to another National Real Estate Exam Prep. And today we're going to talk about property management and leasing. More specifically, we are going to go over 5 questions with their explanations as to why they are the answer. The principal difference between an estate for years and an estate from period to period is that an estate from period to period has no expiration date. A periodic tenancy, also known as an estate from period to period, lacks a specific expiration date as it automatically renews until either the tenant or the landlord provides notice to terminate. In contrast, an estate from years is defined by specific beginning and ending dates. Neither type of estate qualifies as a life estate, and both can be terminated under their respective conditions. To be legally enforceable, both an estate for years and a periodic tenancy must be documented in writing. All of these are examples of a property manager's duties, except a rebate from a service provider. Property management responsibilities encompass tasks such as screening tenants, managing rents and deposits, and negotiating lease agreements. However, accepting rebates or kickbacks from a service provider is not considered a legitimate duty of a property manager. The tenant has agreed to pay a fixed monthly rent, a portion of the property taxes, and maintenance on a 1,500 square foot retail space in a mall. This lease is best described as a net lease. In a net lease, the tenant is responsible for paying rent along with certain property expenses such as taxes, insurance, or maintenance cost. In a percentage or retail lease, the tenant pays a base rent plus an additional amount based on percentage of their sales. Conversely, a gross lease requires the tenant to pay only rent, with the landlord covering the property's operating expenses. A tenant has an estate for years. According to the written 1-year lease, the tenancy will expire on May 1. To obtain possession after May 1, the landlord is not required to give the tenant any notice. An estate for years does not require notice for termination because the lease agreement includes a clearly defined expiration date. Once that date arrives, the lease automatically ends, and the tenant's right to the property is terminated. To compute the return on investment on a purchased property, a property manager advising an investor would need all of these figures except a cap rate. The cap rate is not particularly useful for a property manager when determining the return on investment, the ROI, for a property already within an investor's portfolio. However, if an investor is evaluating the purchase of an income generating property, the property manager can use the cap rate to assess the property manager's investment potential and projected profitability. All right, this was 5 questions and their explanations as to why they are the answer. If this was helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, because we drop a new video every week to help you pass your national real estate exam.